Hello, hello. Welcome guys to Sunday Shogi, where we take your games, we tear them apart, we put them in a teacup, and then we boil it with hot water, making a good roasted tea. So if you want your game to be roasted on stream, now is the time you share your Kifu link, your game link, and we will jump right in. Hope you had so far a great weekend. We had a nice stream with Paul earlier today. Time Zombie mentioned that we had amazing game. What happened today morning is that we had a competition, chat versus Paul, and everyone in the chat were typing the next move that the chat was supposed to make, and the move that had the most votes was chosen. And in the end, chat won, barely. It all went down to 10-second Biomi. Very stressful, but very much fun. Hi, Collie. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Mifa. Welcome, Nobody Knows. Hi, Jen. Welcome once more. So, who is our first volunteer? Who wants to share their Kifu? There is some analysis you're supposed to do with Mifa today. Justice versus Mifa. I would like to see that. Mifa, you okay with that? You can do it here. All right, let's take a look. Justice versus Escape Artist. Justice is from Indonesia. He almost beat you? It's a even game. Is it the same link? It's a different one, right? And one from Yellow Traffic. So this one is from Japanese. It's also rated 2-piece handicap, all right? And non-rated, which is also even. So we're gonna start downloading this game, then this game, and finally this game. Anybody else have a Kifu? Set now. So first we had Justice, who has very interesting profile picture. And that says Rio. And it has a dragon that I've seen somewhere. Is it Mortal Kombat or something? I'm not sure. So it seems you've already given yourself a title. Okay. That's very self-assuring. Let's speed up really fast before it changes to red. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, donating Brad depends, yeah, how much you donate. If you got chocolate from them, you should eat it. Mifa. So we have Justice, and then we have Mifa. And I'm gonna come back to the other pieces. We have Rio in the chat. Apparently so. Spent 2 hours for a bag of my best quality blood. Yeah, remember, like, I only once went with my friend. He didn't give the blood, he gave something else, but or part of the blood. I don't really know how to translate it to English. And he was given like juice and chocolate afterwards, and it was important that you take rest and you eat it because it's a struggle for body after you give away the blood. But of course, great thanks for you, Mifa, to contribute to the society. Orange juice and chocolate will make it all better. You created a profile picture. Yeah, it's very good. But tell me, where did you take the dragon from? I'm still quite interested. Oh, Shaman gave us a link too. Okay. Yeah, don't drink alcohol. Platelets. Whiskey, no, I don't think it was that one. Okay, let's see. So third by Rook. So usually justice, I don't know what's your rating actually. What's your rating? I want to give you advice that's Q. That's like, I don't know where to start. I can be very picky or I can be less picky. I done it yesterday because my mom is going to take surgery and need blood, but I have only one blood type that cannot give to her. I have AB, which is hard to find here. So it's good to donate and I will do it again. Hey, I have AB too. If I believe AB can be only given to AB though, if I remember correctly. But the minus was more rare than the positive. I seem to be losing many games and played based on my mood. Okay, it used to be one done. All right. My mom is A. AB negative is one of the rarest. Yeah. I have positive. One of my parents had A, the other had B, and I am AB. So usually you have negative. Okay, that's rare. Usually you would play here and you would only close this when they move the king, because they will target bishop drop. Okay, it's very complicated, but they will target bishop drop and you can counter with your bishop drop. Or this one bishop drop, depending. Sorry, this bishop drop can be countered. So you don't have to close it unless they protected square. And in the world, yeah. And then in Asia, I think in Asia had like a different statistics than Europe, and AB was more rare in Asia as a general thing, but I might be wrong. Yeah, in Asia, I think it was even rarer. Even more rare. I'm not sure which is the English. I know the Joseki, but I was playing against Mifa, so I was very conscious about bishop action. Okay, that's a valid excuse. I actually played the same opening in my first, how do you say? When I went against Ladies Pro in Rico Cup, I chose this opening, but it was said that, you know, because the bishop went up, it's blocking the rook, and it's, sleep well, Jen, and it's kind of unlucky. It's not a good shape, yeah? So if you want to go for this shape, keep this pawn on the bottom, yeah? Push this, close this, go here, and then go here, and it's more natural, right? Because you don't have this overextended yet. So that would be the theory. But of course, it's not bad shape. It's just that it's over-decided, perhaps. So now the biggest question is, do you want to use the silver, or do you want to use the pawn? Also considering you have this pawn here, Mifa is already protecting this with the silver beforehand. So you decide to go more passive, yeah? And you can see that he's looking on your edge already, right? So we have to be careful about that in the future. In case of moving bishop, you always have to calculate this attack here. And in this case, you can move the rook up, so it should be fine. Especially that his king is not ready yet. Should be fine, but you should consider that when you do that. And you took the edge. You finished the castle, all right. And Mifa built his, it's called Millennium. A form of Millennium. Happens that the silver comes to here, or rather this way. Let me get some tea. Yeah, it's more often nowadays, Justice. It was very rare in the past. It was considered to be like part of the Fuji system counter. But nowadays it's considered good. In the perhaps you can see that, you know, the knight head is weak, but having 4 generals here defend the square actually makes it pretty solid. The edge pawn is not pushed, which is kind of interesting. Let's see how did we develop the position. Okay. So yeah, the knight cannot take it because it will be captured. We put the bishop in a very nice position. Mifa counters it. Speaking of which, the gold came back, right? So that's kind of lucky for us. Yeah, you can see that I suffered in the endgame because I found no breaking of the castle. Yeah, but that's the advantage that Mifa has. I'm not really sure if I want to go for that exchange. One option, I don't know if it's better or worse, but there is one counter that you have to be careful about, but one option would be to like exchange this and then develop our silver in the middle, then push the pawn, which would, you know, delete our hanging piece. Or you could try, you know, push it back to also delete the hanging piece. The problem with this that in some cases there's like Tetsuji like this that will force our rook and kill us off. But in this case, you can see it's attacking the bishop directly, so I think it would be fine because of that, basically. And then you can, you know, you've seen that before. Yeah, in this case, it's fine. And this is why, this strategy is one of the reasons why we don't want to jump the knight early. It's kind of silly because there's a rook in front. Like you would think that the rook is very stable here, but actually just this simple rook and silver being here pressures our rook very, as you mentioned, in a nasty way. But generally, yeah, exchanging the central pawn seems like a good feeling to me, and because it allows to develop the silver, I would consider that. The other option I would consider is pushing this, but because he just moved the bishop here, it's less safe to me. So I would recommend the 5 square. And then as you have this pawn in hand, you can create magic like pushing this pawn, dropping the pawn, you know, relocating the rook, activating the silver, pushing here, stuff like that. So you go for this, you know, classical stuff. But here, unfortunately, your silver is stuck back. And you would like to jump with the knight, but as you noticed, bishop exchange means then gold will be the attached from castle and you will end up with 2 of the attached pieces. So you had to take, and now you're stuck with the knight, silver, and the rook in here, right? So that's why it feels bad. I assume you're gonna drop the bishop. So if this worked, that would be great. Yes, so if the knight takes, the rook will be taken, looks interesting. So perhaps it was a good idea. How do we break this? So it would be nice to have a pawn here to help the bishop, but okay, we don't. Miracle. So eventually we would like to move the silver up. Take with the bishop. Go back. Okay, that's interesting. In that case, we have a horse, they don't. But our horse is not in a very useful location. I was considering this square more. So that I can sacrifice this pawn next. If silver takes, I can go here, you know? Or if rook takes, well, of course, the silver is hanging. There is a knight drop. Maybe we can drop the knight first. There are like those details, but I was wondering if that's an option. Knight came here. We're kind of... Okay, what is Mifa trying to do? We cannot push this pawn because obviously there's a bishop. The knight is not immediately punished. How do we deal with that? One idea would be to move the horse here and drop the pawn. You do it. But then we don't have the pawn to defend, so we use the knight. Okay. got the knight, which is huge. That's huge. I would be tempted here to drop the knight, perhaps. Maybe too much. Because I know that if we take this might come and attack us again, but maybe then maybe it's fine, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Gold takes. Normally you would be really happy to take it with the rook, but well, there's the bishop that would pin the rook to the gold. So this is why this rook sacrifice is pretty brilliant. But unfortunately there is this pawn promotion threat. What do we do about it? You decide to jump here to attack the king. So we're a little bit behind, right? Yeah, so generally this pawn drop is painful. Might sound crazy. But I would consider moving the silver back here. Or maybe taking the rook even. To change the flow of the game, right? Because this silver... We're gonna protect this square, perhaps. What if rook takes instead of gold takes, followed by bishop? What if rook takes? Here I would be also curious. No, I shouldn't take it with. If rook takes instead of gold, followed by this. Ooh, silver drop. Let's consider. Then I assume we're gonna take this. Hello, Darkwing. So there's a problem. There's a very big piece affecting our king, and we yet not have nothing to affect that. You could argue that this knight and this knight are both affecting, but you can see how much weaker this defense is. Right. Although we have 2 silvers. Something like a rook drop. Threatening pawn promotion is already quite threatening. I was thinking about saving silver for 4, but I thought I would go for high risk, high return play. Yeah, that's typical of Mifa, and it's a very good rook sacrifice, I think. Yeah, I thought to exploit the open diagonal since pawn cannot be dropped. Yeah, I mean, in general, it's a good idea. The problem is they have a silver in hand. I think that's the reason why it might be troublesome. Of course, you get more material in hand, but your gold gets distracted from the castle, and this is why we took it with the gold to like... Okay, the big thing is this bishop comes alive as well, and this is why we take it with the gold to keep it dead. Here, yeah, I would consider going back. Yeah, if you guys have any game records, you can put it into our queue by posting it in the chat, and then I'm gonna analyze it. How long ago did you start playing Justice? About a year. playing handicap here. It's kind of interesting. I was in Japan and think it was interesting variant of chess. You were in Japan during the pandemic? Can't see anything. I'm so sorry. You're right. Thanks for reminding me. Come to think of it, last trip was before COVID happened. I see. Couldn't find mate. Was there a mate? Doesn't seem like to me. Do you have any hishi? That's the question you want to ask. So here our opponent still doesn't have a checkmate, so if we find a hishi somewhere. Like for example, knight promotion, and they have to drop something. Then, if we are lucky enough, maybe this will lead us to some form of checkmate. For example, something like this. In this case, it's very sketchy. Whenever it's check, pawn drop checkmate. I don't think it's enough, basically. Wait, there's a horse here. Will that help us? If we just go for like a check with setting up for another hishi or stuff. Maybe then we win. Square cap dragon, where? But this is this one square right dragon here. I mean, this is a horse, yeah. Have you ever hosted a simul? Yes, many times. In like 4 times we did it. I only lost because of Byoyomi settings and Tukoshiro. I think both chess, Changshi, and chess provide endless entertainment. Sometimes draws can be satisfying. Well, not in this game. Yeah, Justice, to be honest, you played exceptionally well in this game. If you say you play only 1 year, I'm pretty envious. Especially, you're from Indonesia, right? So I wonder who was your teacher? Unless you play with Mifa every time and he's your teacher, then it would explain a lot. Hidechi is everyone's teacher. So for example here, I don't think you have time to play moves like this. You can consider moves like this. And then continue attacking, right? Boom, pound drop or something. Continue creating threats on the king because there's no time. You don't want to spend moves like this. You want to get this guy, yeah? This move doesn't help you get this guy. This move is a middle game move. You want to go for the end game. You had 1 second left. So the shogi you played is 15 minutes. You don't see it again, my fault. 15 minutes, 60 seconds. And in the second you played the gold, you had 1 second left. You did have 1 second left. Now, you wouldn't have 1 second left if you played this move in 50 seconds. If you played this move in 50 seconds, you used 5 seconds. I don't know why. You used 6 seconds here. So if you used 50 seconds, you would have gained 2 minutes before making this move. Hey, Kimchi, thank you for the follow. Good to see you too. Subscription. Welcome to the harbor. Thank you so much. Ahoy. So this is the time management, basically. But yeah, you did well. I don't know what to tell you. In the end game, you should concentrate around the king. That's all. Remember to smash that like button. I think you played very well in the opening. Either you're very talented or you have a very good cheating engine, but I'm gonna assume the first one. Did you have a checkmate here still? I don't think so. Oh god, it says that the hype train is closed. God, guys, what did you do? Time Zombie, why did you give Justice a sub? Thank you very much, but why did you do it? It says the sub, gift, or use bits now to start a hype train. Are you guys crazy? We have generation 3 of defenders. Which generation are we at? Generation 2. It will be the third train to attack the harbor. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for sending. And we're gonna check now Mifa's game again. Mifa, I will push you back because we just watched one of your games, okay? Hope you're okay with that. And 69 sub. I just realized the meaning of those words. And now we have Eon Gray, which was yellow, if I'm correct. Yeah, yellow. And yellow is Sente, and it's non-rated. So yellow is Sente, so we're gonna put yellow. And we're gonna put what else got there. And we're gonna load the game. Oops, I loaded my first game. Eon. Okay. Thank you so much. You're special, Justice. You're 69th time zombie sub. Okay, yellow. You're going for side pawn picker, which I know nothing about. So it's double. Oh god, it's a double side pawn picker. So this move is technically considered a mistake. The question is how to punish it. Usually what Gotet does here is like attack here or wait, am I? No, here. Attack here or move the bishop up or try any other move. I'm not sure if the knight is possible. But this I would have to think about. You can put my game to the last big one because I also wanna enjoy watching people's game. I got it, Siva. Thank you so much. So we have to defend. They're gonna go here. Okay. If there is some faint memory in my brain about taking it and dropping the bishop here or here. I think the rook going back is not a bad move, but I think taking is also possible. Okay, but this is a mistake. Okay. I thought of bishop. Yes, that's the counter, and this is why I think you don't drop the bishop here because of the rook drops. I think you drop it here. And then they had some kind of counter for that. I just don't remember exactly. They were also dropping the bishop somewhere. They have to defend, right? And they don't have forks. Pawn drop. How about pawn drop? You mean the rook drop will come? Then we force them to drop a rook, so I guess that's fair. I'm not sure if there was some crazy rook versus rook drop somewhere. Oh, I don't know the Yakovdori. I guess we have to ask a certain sensei. A certain sensei for a help. Where are my passwords? Hello? Here you are, okay. Give a copy. Let's take a quick look with our sensei here. Yep, password manager. Mipa also says pound drop. Pound drop, gold takes, pound drop, silver up. Yeah, that looks right to me. Just that I'm not sure what to do after. So just for... Yeah, so you see that clear computer doesn't like the How do we stop analyzing? There is no option to stop analyzing. So yes, the computer would prefer, you know, take, pawn takes, bishop drop, pawn drop, to bishop drop, pawn to 8, bishop takes, bishop takes, bishop, 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 king, king, king. Okay, so that would be slower development. We can try it out. Takes, takes, drop, pawn drop, valuation. You stopped the hype train. So yeah, we consider pawn drop and we consider gold move. And it becomes slower variation. But as you can see, the point is king up. Takes, pawn drop. Computer is a little bit crazy, so let's consider taking, taking, dropping, running. And now we can go for some crazy attacks, apparently. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, you have the right answer, Mifa. So according to both of our senseis, whenever it is the king holding Mifa or the computer sensei, this would have a follow-up. So that's one way. But of course, rook going back is not a mistake. The problem starts with gold moving up. So this specific opening is called side pawn picker. It's the craziest opening. And why is it the craziest? Because immediately from the opening, you end up in endgame. Yeah? What does it mean you end up in endgame, yellow? How does your thinking change when you end up in endgame? I will give you a few seconds to answer. It means you need to go for the king. Yes. So what do you do with your king? Oh, sorry, Time Zombie. I did it again. The overlays, not being careful enough. Yes, but what does it mean? Look, your opponent have a bishop in hand, you have a bishop in hand. Every time you move the gold up like this, your camp becomes weaker, right? So why is computer preferring this move? Because you keep your camp balanced and secured against different drops. The king is actually helping you protect the center, also keeping it like in a position where it can go both ways. And generally you would, in side pawn picker, you would prefer to move those generals here. The last problem that you have is that the rook will come here and force you to drop a pawn, yeah? So if you move your gold like this, it means they will have easier time breaking this file, yeah? Because immediately, I'm not sure if they played this, immediately you can imagine something like this. Boom. They broke through. Yeah? Just because of that simple looking gold move, right? It's a good example, is it? So you want to keep it balanced and well protected. Your biggest problem is this rook. This time, if they would move D here, you can take it with the gold. It's fine, yeah? Okay, let's see what happened in the game. They moved here. You move here. They drop the bishop. You have a hole, so they are able to do that. You force it out. You need to go in. Yeah, you're not gonna break here because of that. You can try this. And that. Okay. So for example, you distract the gold and you take this pawn, but you can get the same effect by promoting this pawn. and without giving the rook. I was hoping to make a castle on the left. Yeah, so there is no this opening is very specific. There is no time to make a castle, basically. We always tell to beginners, make a castle, prepare, but actually in this opening, there's different type of castle in the middle of the board. It's a very specific one. Not in this particular second, but okay. So for example, your opponent can move this silver here, move the king here, move the gold here, move the silver here. It's called central house or Nakahara's king. I think it's called Nakahara's king. And there is the central house as well. So there are different types of castles concentrated on the balance. If you Google them, it's gonna pop up on Wikipedia. This is breaking the principle of the opening. Now, yeah, the edge is not so important right now, as you notice. You don't want to allow them to make a horse. You're kind of ignoring your opponent's moves a lot. I wonder if that's good or bad. I cannot tell, because in this opening, ignoring the opponent's move is very important. But to a certain degree. So like here you could consider you're also doing moves like this, you know. Okay, maybe this is defending against, maybe this doesn't work. Could consider going for the silver somehow. Going for the silver. I like how you noticed that the silver is for free, but meantime you lost yours, right? This looks like overplayed to me, but we're gonna see here. What do we have? He has a space here. We have 2 silvers, which won't be enough to break through. We play a Hishi, alright, and probably... Yeah. They got more speed, basically. If you had this pawn promoted, instead of giving up the rook, you wouldn't have the knight, but the knight didn't really help you in the attack. So it's again an endgame thing, right? So for example here, right? If they take your rook this time, they don't have much more time, because you can checkmate them. And now the question is, do they have the same form of checkmate if they don't have a rook? And the answer is no, because the rook was very pivotal piece for their attack over here. That takes practice. Yakov Dori, side pawn picker is very difficult. Very difficult. Very, very difficult. I wouldn't beat yourself for that. It's just that he has a lot of pieces, so naturally there is a high chance they have one. So you don't want to give them this many pieces, right? One slower move you could consider is maybe blocking this lance off. I think like this is around here is a critical position, basically. I think you did well around here. You were ignoring their moves, taking your points, but then you made a mistake somewhere around here. And meantime, we can also check our sensei, who's gonna say pawn drop, actually. Might have been equal game. Here you have advantage, so I'm quite surprised to see that. What did you do wrong? Rook drop. The computer doesn't like it. So you have advantage here. This one wasn't good. Bishop drops 6-5 immediately is better. I would really recommend if you play this opening, it's all about like calculation based. So in this specific opening, I would recommend using computer to like check those endgame variations. As you can see, I also have trouble like determining it. I felt wrong to give up the rook, but couldn't see the pawn promotion for a moment. Although the game, I was reminding myself to the both sides of the camber weak towards rook drops. Yes. So if you remembered about that, that's good enough. It's good enough. Bishop, drop, rook goes, takes. The computer is playing some weird moves, but basically... It basically had the right idea, I think. It proves it. Oh, he could have blocked the rook with pawn drops, that's why. Okay, he had a counter on it. And here... Rook is a bad move, that's very interesting. Pawn drop 2-4, silver takes, and then you have a fork on bishop and silver. And then you can promote the rook. So instead of dropping the rook, you want to promote this guy. And after pawn drop... It had a... Yeah, it is quite... I see. I can see. Okay, let's assume they're gonna run the same way in the game. So you weaken him enough that you can attack. This is very hard to grasp for a beginner, for me too. These kind of moves are computer moves. Especially that they have a rook drop here. It's very, very scary to do. Yeah, you would have to defend. Yeah, it's really, really hard to like determine this position. Really hard. You could try to learn this more aggressive variation. You could surely learn exactly how to build up your position in Yokofutori, right? Do not build a castle in this opening. That's the biggest lesson from the opening you have here. And then there are tactical errors that computer has shown, but this takes experience to do. I think you had the right idea of attacking the rook. You had the right idea here, and I think you went a little bit too aggressive because you gave too many pieces and you just lost in the endgame, right? So this is the main soul of this opening, who counts better, yeah? So perhaps you should have blocked their lines here, because it not only protects you, but also attacks their king. Perhaps that was a good move, and pawn promotion as well. You have to find who's faster. If he's faster, you defend. If you're faster, you attack. You need to get the balance right. I hope it helps. Sorry, I don't know much about this opening in particular, but I hope those general rules will help you. Sorry, you could go over why bishop drop was better than 5-6. Okay. So I think what computer says is to not sacrifice this pawn at all, and it recommends the bishop drop. I know the screen is quite tiny. Sorry about that. Maybe we can do this. So what the computer wants you to do is like to take this instead. Bishop drop, bishop takes 6-3, taking the rook, silver it takes, pawn 6-4, that's kind of weird move. Pawn 6-4, oh, this bishop is protecting. So probably the idea will be that if the gold takes, you disturb the, remember we talked about the balance, you disturb the balance of their camp, and boom, the rook will get to their king. But of course this is not an easy position. It's not, because your king is also quite weak. But according to the computer here you would be winning. So they will try to defend with this move, which is activating this bishop here. And then there is some tricky place, it seems. You try to disturb the bishop will promote, then you drop the pawn, silver takes, and then it's a very long fight. So it comes back to the middle game. It's kind of weird, but it would come back to the middle game. It's really hard to tell who's better here. Really hard to tell. Basically you have the rook drop, which is a powerful move next. Yeah, the rook drop here, it is very scary. It is very scary. But in this situation, in this moment, this becomes checkmate threat, and this is why we're better off justice. Because we're faster. Our king has more spaces to go to. His king will be checkmated because of our rook drop. Unless, of course, there are knight jumps and stuff like this. Makes it complex. But our horse is much more powerful, I feel. We have a way to access those squares. They have no way to access those squares with just a silver. And we can take more pieces. Sure, they can take 2. But it takes more moves for them to access those files. That's my feeling about it. So why bishop drop is not good move? The computer says that they have a counter with pawn drop 8-5, rook takes, silver up. I don't know if it's still equal game. Basically it's less good for some reason. I cannot really tell why. What if we drop the bishop here? They will do the same thing. So my question is, why is it wrong? What if we drop the bishop here and they do the same thing? You have to ask the computer sensei. You have to keep asking them. Because there is this rook move. What does it change? Because now we're threatening this move rather than this move? I don't know. Maybe that's the point. Bishop promotion. Bishop takes here. So I think the point the computer is making that if you drop the bishop here instead of here, you're able to move the rook. Not sure if you can see it. Because the bishop is here, you can move the rook here. If it's on 5-6, you cannot do that. I think that's the difference the computer is drawing here. It gives you more option for the rook. And if you, I think the computer didn't like your pawn sacrifice, because if the silver takes, the bishop promotion is helping the silver. While if you keep the silver on the bottom, in the previous variation, bishop promotion didn't help it, yeah? So I assume that's the difference. It's a very faint one, very faint difference. but computer indicates that it's important. I hope it explains it, yellow. That makes sense, more sense now. Thanks for the explanation. Your comments are really insightful and I feel that I learn a lot every time. Thank you so much, Yellow, and good luck in this difficult opening. Yoko Fudori is one of the most difficult ones, really. This is why people like Fuji Sensei, like, they excel at it, because reading is everything in them. I'm glad you're trying it, though. I'm glad. It's a very fun opening to try. All right, and finally we have Jademan, right? Jademan, Shaman. I didn't download it yet, did I? I did, actually, okay. So we'll look from the goddess view. Shaman, you're here. I hope you are. Third by rook when your opponent is going for the first square opening. So here I would already consider not pushing the rook pawn because it's clear that they're going for this opening. And here, I wonder what you're gonna do against this move. Because if silver takes, there's a pawn drop and the silver dies, right? If we take it with the bishop, it's kinda scary already because they will have the control over this line. Like this line. Yeah, this is very, very famous nowadays, Shaman. Very famous. It's a right side for by rook versus your shape. If you are Sente, you are able to stop it, perhaps with a knight jump or stuff. Not really. Your bishop will be hanging. It's kind of risky. I would also consider this move to like help defending this square. But again, if they do this, we do this. They're gonna take our rook. Becomes messy. It becomes messy, to say at least. Very messy fight. Oh wait, silver, pawn drop. This time we can go back. Okay. This time the bishop is not here. If they move the silver, we take it. They take our... it's so messy. It's so messy, and we have a weakness here. Not really big fan of it. We could try, bishop drops or something to try to stabilize, but you can see we're using our strong pieces in defense. You wouldn't play this? We didn't play which? What would you play, Justice? Before they attack, like here. If they attack and exchange and attack, you still have a hole here, right? But maybe then you can fork the rook and the pawn. They will come here, you're gonna come here. Or maybe more aggressive. Maybe here. Like a weird middle game fight with a jump, come up. And that's because perhaps this pawn push was like, hello, please attack me. You can play safer. You can say, well, I'm not gonna play Ishida style anymore, or I'm gonna move my king first. Or I'm gonna move my gold first. Stop, come back. We don't really wanna come back. Maybe there are some other options here. This requires a really tight calculation. If you want to push this pawn, you should push it here, right? It's one move faster. And you can take this pawn. How about this? Yeah, how about this? Shaman. You take, and you threaten this. The problem is they might counter here in the meantime. Trying to break through, right? Making a token. So that's the danger. Something like this, you know, breaking through. Take some risk. It is good to go silver 5-4 before the rook shifted to the 4 file. Yeah, but that's again, that's not playing this move, right? Yeah, so here you're losing a silver. You're really losing a silver, but we're gaining a bishop. Oh, that's a nice one. Your opponent, unfortunately, I think in this position they can make a check on your king because it's in the center. And then they can run with the rook. Not sure where, but they can survive that without losing the bishop and leaving the silver in hand. But here you got a bishop back. You force them to drop us. I would be also considering something like this, like, haha, alright, I'm gonna disturb your silver, make a token and almost threaten a checkmate, right? I would consider that. Now this is tricky. We don't have enough pieces to attack. We could drop a pawn here to be the most effective. Yeah, so we don't want to touch those. Those are useless, yeah? They just sit in the center. What you want to do is expose their weakness. Their weakness is either here or here. There's a bishop drop here. You could target this gold. You could make one square dragon. If you're thinking of attacking the silver to expose this file, I guess that's okay. But the problem is, it doesn't feel right, yeah? Doesn't feel right because this happens and this pawn disappears. You got a silver advantage, but we're not at the stage of advantages. We're at stage, I want an attack and I want it now. So for example, here, I think there's another move you could try, which is a bishop drop here. Forcing them to drop a pawn. Maybe there is no continuation here. Unfortunately, silver takes. Yeah, there is none. Something like, no, something with power. You want to go like, Not like, Okay, this is interesting move. By the way, there is something about this lens, Shaman. There's something about this lens that's very cute. Can you see what's cute about this lens? Yeah, it's free. It's totally free, right? And it allows your bishop to go here, so technically you're double threatening stuff. They take this, you take this. And now they have only one rook, so as long as you defend in a very solid way, okay, this doesn't work, so maybe let's assume... Yeah, they don't have really any threat, right? They cannot even drop the rook, so it would be very nice for you. I know it's risky, but we can consider doing it. There's no fork on our bishop. There is a rook drop here, but we have a silver. They drop a pawn, that's our concern, perhaps. You could get scared of it, but I don't think we're dying immediately. It's like this approach is more like defend everything and win by having all the pieces in hand rather than winning by checkmating the king first. Here, now this rook drop is very painful because you have to drop a piece and he's activating the lance. This is painful, very painful. The tables had turned and you can see that this king is still very, very wide. If you want to go for Hishi, you want to play moves like this, take this, but still, this king is not really approachable. It takes 1, 2, and then gold drop, right? In the meantime, he's going to make a checkmate threat. And we're 1 move too late. That's because you've allowed him to speed up the attack so much. So if you're about to run, I would recommend running like here. So that, you know, he has only rook and lance. Do not give him more pieces. I just realized there's a rook drop here. Okay. Okay. That's kind of painful. That's kind of painful as well. That's painful. If we want to do something else here, well, obviously we can just take the lance. Maybe this way? Rook drop, knight, take the bishop, take the silver, rook cannot promote. We continue fighting, but this is much more difficult than before. Yeah. The lance drop is really good, it seems, if you allow it to exist. Lance drop is really good because of your bishop's position, yeah? But of course you can take it. So if you manage to like block off all of his attacking lines, you would have won. Here you allowed him to get a 1 piece for free and have an amazing rook drop on your weak king. What if bishop dropped to 5? Okay, you're talking about this position. So what do we achieve here, justice? I mean, it's flashy, yeah? There is an endgame book that's talking about flashy moves and good moves, and they say a good move is not necessarily a flashy one. So definitely bishop drop is a flashy one, but as an effect, you just throw 1 for free and give away, and then, well, yes, you don't have a way to end the game. So you will end up dropping, maybe taking the knight, and this rook will promote and threaten your king with a checkmate threat. That's not what we want. So in that case, it's not good enough. Okay, so Shaman, I want you to find your way to counter this strategy whenever it's using computer or asking your friend. I want you to think about it. How do you want to counter as a player? How do you want to counter it? Do you want to counter it like here? Or do you want to counter it with silver? Do you want to counter it strongly with pawn push, yeah? I want you to think about it. And then I want you to keep playing those amazing moves, but also in the end game, I want you to think, what is the fastest way for me to get this king? What is the fastest way? Not like how do I pin their pieces or whatever. How do I get to this guy? The fastest way. And of course, I guess, I don't know why, maybe you're stressed or something, you just missed this. This happens, it's fine. It's fine. But you have to consider also not only how to attack, but also how to defend your own king. Oh, Hishi practice is cool, yeah. There are some good Mainavi books one could recommend. Oh wait, this is interesting position still. Here, right? You want to go here to expose his king, right? You don't want to give him a free gold. I like your endgame, Shaman. I like it. I like how you try to find a way to make it work. I really like it. I really like your feeling about here. Keep checking. Take the attacking piece in order to continue our attack. This is the proper way to fight in the endgame. I like it. The problem is it's not enough, yeah? Wait, is it? Shaman. Shaman, how about this move? Shh, how about this move? I saw it after the game. So if they drop anything like diagonal piece or pawn, you can go like whoop. If they run away, you just go with the dragon. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna trap you in the corner. But then the question is the gold. In case of the gold, actually you can just take it. Yeah, actually in any of those pieces you can just take it and do this. You were so close, so close. So close. Your endgame was so good that you almost turned this game around. It's amazing. I think it's amazing, Shaman. I think you did great. Yeah. So amazing. What happened to your opponent? He took it with this piece. You took it. So here you take the crucial piece, which is the silver. He could have taken with the knight. This way, yes, you have a continuing check. Yes, you can threaten the checkmate, but actually this dies to a checkmate because this is a checkmate here. So here you would have lost. Yes, maybe though. Maybe we go with your idea of going here and he's one move too late. That would be brilliant. This is brilliant. So this is why your opponent, I think he made a mistake of, if he wants to go for that attack, I assume he drops it here. Or if he goes for this attack, he should take it here and then force you to use more pieces. Because this is one move faster checkmate threat. So I think you outsmarted him in the endgame. That's brilliant. Amazing. Exciting. Amazing. Great job. So yeah, think about how to approach the king in the middle game, because your endgame is on spot on. Think about how to approach it in the middle game. More like faster, because you see the fast moves, right? You see, if I have a gold, this is going to happen. I see this bishop sacrifice. Just make sure you learn those slower moves to approach the king, like the pawn drop, yeah? Try to be more. Find fastest move, but also middle game fastest moves, not end game fastest moves, because those you have already mastered, I think. For now. Well done, though. Okay, finally we have the game of Mifa. That's a handicap game. Saved a lot. The 2-piece, right? 2-piece. Sorry for the overlay. Okay, we cannot have Jade Manas. I think Mifa is, yeah. Okay, and you're gonna see it from his point of view. 2 pieces versus 3 done? Yeah, that sounds about it. Sounds about it. Sounds about right. For Mifa. So we have something that's called silver tandem. If they build 2 silvers like this, it's called silver tandem. I don't know exactly why is it called this way. Why is it called silver tandem? English, please. Two riders, one behind another. I guess that explains it. It's just two silvers, like one behind another. It's a very popular handicap in this. It's a very popular opening in this handicap, and I hate it, and I don't know how to counter it. So I will be very happy to see how Mifa counters it. So you don't move any of those pieces, because then it's gonna challenge the piece on the 5-5 square. And you develop the silver here, interesting. And then you move the gold to the center. Okay, you're just waiting now, okay. Now that the bishop left this line, we are thinking of activating the knight, all right. And the opponent have a very scary threat on us. Sacrificing the pawns in order to activate the knight. It's very light moves you're making, I like it. Take the bishop. Taking the bishop seems like a success, but in this handicap it's not necessarily true. We're defending lightly against the knight drop. They're getting a check to get a free piece. They gave us a whole silver, okay. Okay. So I'm not sure about this development for your opponent. You became faster thanks to that. Silver drop. Not enough again. King living on the edge. I love it. I love it. Look how important this edge was. If the pawn was here, it would be a checkmate. It's not, because there is a square on 9-4. It's amazing. So checkmate with the horse here or the silver drop. Escape artist indeed. Yeah, I think it proves how important this edge pawn push is. Guys, if you ever wondered what is with those pawn pushes, it's because it gives away space for the king in the edge. If you have Mino, you want to push it so that your king has more space in the edge. Or you have an edge attack, but that's another story. Look how it works here. Look how the king is alive thanks to that. I also like the way you lightly open up here, attacking the bishop's head. And you look, guys, can you guys tell me what's the biggest problem what's the biggest issue that handicap receiver has? The side on the top. What's their biggest issue? Can you guys identify that for me? King safety? No. What's the biggest issue of the guy on the top? Apart from the fact that he just lost bishop. Apart from that. They're attacking with their defensive pieces. Yeah, I could argue that, but there's one bigger one. Yes. This guy. This guy is not working. So remember how we started this with saying, ooh, a two-piece handicap against freedom. But if one of the pieces isn't working, it's like an even game, almost. It's like Mifa has a bishop, the opponent has a rook, Mifa lost a silver. So suddenly, instead of two-piece handicap, you have a silver handicap. Isn't that a big difference? Huge difference, right? So this is why in handicap games, the most important is how do you sabaki those pieces? And sabaki will be a topic of my next Shogi Lexicon video. I'm gonna upload next week. So wait for it. Yes. So that's the main point. Mifa, do you have any additional comment about this game? Like any particular position we should look at? Handicap Shogi is very tricky, I can agree. But that's the soul of the handicap Shogi. Here, maybe he could have escaped toward this side. I don't know. definitely go here? No, because they can put more pressure. It's quite tricky, eh? So here we could consider going for Hishi instead, right? Is our king in checkmate? Is our king in checkmate? Is the question we have to keep asking ourselves. Are we in checkmate or not? Guys, can you see the checkmate? The answer is yes, but can you guys see it? I wish there was learning material about handicap games like this. I think there is. I think it's Larry Kaufman. Was it Larry Kaufman? Introduction to handicap play. So somebody made a study from it, apparently, but there is a PDF. This is not the original file, basically. Handicap play. Here. If you guys are interested, let me scroll to somewhere with diagrams. Teaching you about the basics, like here. If you guys interested, it's on our Discord as well. And this is a link as well for the PDF. You made that study, cool. Yellow says he found the checkmate, which is bishop drop to 8, king for 7, gold drop. Oh, I see. That's working as well. I think the bishop drop here works in a similar way, but we got the same idea of the gold drop here. Good job, you found it. Yes, Mifa, I would be really happy if you did, actually. Yeah, do you think you can make a Shogi study, or do you prefer to write a PDF? I wonder what's your preferred way of doing it. I think it would be amazing, you know, because we always watch your handicap games, and I think many people would be happy to read it. Or, yeah, commented games. Yeah, especially that you always play so many games, you just take a few and you comment and boom, you have a book. It would be amazing. I would buy it. I would buy it. Can you sign me a book with autograph? Mifa? Please. It would be great. You should do it. I think many people are now excited listening to it. Sure thing, Mao, yeah. Peer pressuring chat to write a book, only Caro has that power. Yes. Like, I could write a book myself, but hey, Mifa has the more experience with handicap shogi, and he definitely should do it. Definitely. And I'm pretty sure everyone in the chat agrees. At least the people who knows Mifa. And you can write like King, TTK winner season 2. You can sign like that. With a picture of you with the trophy that I'm gonna send to you. Maybe we can collab. Yeah, maybe we could. Maybe we could. We could. Okay. So I think this is our last game for today. We didn't see more links. We used our sensei. We learned about tandem. Learned about handicap games. By the way, this is the link to the study as well. If you ever write a book on Bogyaku, I would definitely buy it. I would buy it as well. I would buy it as well. Nowadays, anybody can write a book thanks to, I think, Amazon Print or something, or simply make a PDF and then, you know, people can pay you on Patreon or something, or subscribe at buy 10 copies. Yeah, times. I mean, we know you would. So hey, maybe there's a new project on our server. Also, guys, if you like Minecraft, we have the Shogi Harbour Minecraft. If you look on our Discord, there is this thread in video games called Harbourcraft. If you guys would like to join a car or Nimue building amazing 30 meters Tori. Do you guys know what Tori is? Tori. 30 meters Tori. Is it Tori or Tori? I think it's Tori. 30 meters Tori from Minecraft Blocks. They would like to. They would welcome you with open hands. If you like Minecraft, you can join them on our server. How about we play Ningen Shogi but in Minecraft? That's a great idea, Justice. That's a great idea. I love it. We should do it. We should actually do it. We should get 18 people and have 2 generals, 2 shoguns, and play Ningen Shogi. And somebody will record it from a hill high. We should do it. It sounds like an interesting idea. Yep, that sounds good. Anyway, I will see you guys on Discord. Next week, remember that we have Saturday chill stream, but I will have us. Wait, actually, I might have to cancel it. We will definitely cancel the stream with Paul because there's another stream you have to look at. It's at. Instead of 9, it will be at 8, and it's gonna be on YouTube. And if you guys miss it, you suck. It will be amazing. And 3 hours before that, at 5 o'clock, at 5 a.m. my time, I also will be on YouTube live streaming the final of International Shogi Tournament. And then that finalist at 8 o'clock will be playing someone amazing. So if you guys miss that, it's on you. It's shame on you. I'm warning you. And I think Shogi Sunday will be as usual. This just depends how I feel, I guess, because I will have to wake up very early on Sunday. But if anything changes, I will notify you on Discord. Let me read the chat. You can actually wear gold and silver outfits. Ooh, that sounds good. Thanks, Yellow, for coming. Cancel it to play SNS. No. Justice, thank you so much for coming and sharing the Kifu. Yeah, the special IST. This year it's IST, not ISF, funnily enough. Got it. I'm waiting for your book, Mifa. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a nice Sunday. Bye-bye.